Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Is that how you play it?
Yeah.
All right.
So Shelley will be a private message.
What? Yeah.
Shelley will be private.
There's Rabbi. Oh, no, wait.
Rabbi Zedek, good morning. All right. All right, what can I get for you? Do you need water?
I will go in and refill this.
Okay. I'm happy to do that for you.
I tried unmuting that one and it like started a feedback loop immediately.
This land is your land.
Yes, so not that.
So,
Okay. So we'll just do the private video time.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And that's enough. It's, they're actually, he's able to hear it, so. But why is the video not picking? Oh, how about I look here? Great. That's great. Okay. So the thing that I haven't done is get, do we have the Havdalah set nearby and a match?
This is going to be for Ruthie to hold the candle towards to block the wind. But I can go get the Havdalah.
Right.
We'll leave this here. Is there a particular one? Is it the one on the back of the bima still, or there's a pile of them off the kitchen?
I don't know. Probably the kitchen. It would have been put somewhere to have
We'll do our best.
access.
Of
course. How are you?
Okay.
You look
Nice.
great.
Thanks. Got a haircut.
Thank you.
All right.
A lot of haircut.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good to see you, Billy.
You too. How have you been?
I'm good.
I don't know, sweetie.
No, that's your chair.
Well, that's our chair right there.
That's reserved.
Oh, so we can see the.
Yeah.
Oh, so we can. That's a thing we can look at.
Yeah.
Right there.
All
right. We come up later, buddy.
Okay, let me know when you're ready. I'll be seeing you live.
I will call you up.
I heard from Anisha told me that you like
Hi, Ruth. Pleased to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, so I think we're just going to. Right.
Shelley told me to write down and do the girls are better, so I got all the flavors on both.
That is really.
There's also a regular Mountain Dew and Seidner.
Awesome. USA. USA.
I do not understand.
Major melon. Major melon. And code red. Wow.
I think
I'm so thirsty.
93 milligrams.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's major melon.
93 milligrams of caffeine?
Yeah.
Okay.
So give me a thumbs up if you can
After
hear me.
you, before the music.
All right, good. In about 5 minutes, we're going to start. So those of you who don't have a CD-ROM, bring it on.
We're going for it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to sit down during the show.
Good evening. Everybody in the back. Can Devora hear me? Yeah, Devora can hear me. Great. This is great. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm feeling such joy seeing all these people at our synagogue for the first time in so long. It seems like it's been 15 months, 16. So good to see everybody here. And thanks for coming out in the heat. We're all here for one very important reason. And that is that we're here to honor our rabbi of the last 5 years, Rabbi Craig Marantz. And you'll have a chance to hear from him tonight. And you'll have a chance to hear from many people tonight, which is why I'm not going to take too much time up here. But my name is David Rakofsky. I am the new president of your congregation.
Time out. Are we getting a weird feedbacky thing? Turn the volume on. This one that's really close to. Turn the volume on this one all the way down. No, not that one. This one. The one by David. Zero out the volume.
You're dealing with strange echoes.
No.
It's actually helpful because then we can review what you said.
Let's go to that tape right away. All right. We have some new hardware because we're so crazy about streaming. We're getting all this great stuff so people can see us whenever they want. If you can't get it, you can come see us anyway.
Okay.
All right, we're trying again. Oh, that's so much better. Thank you for our great crew. Leah Jones, with help from Andy. 5959 is in the house. Yes. All right. So what can I say? Craig Marantz is a man who's here with us today because 5 years ago he made a choice. He came to us on a mission, with a mission, to become the senior rabbi at an urban synagogue in Chicago. And it was a departure from where he was, and that meant a lot to us and it meant a lot to him that we had something to offer him in terms of how his leadership was going to unfold here in this city. And so we'll be hearing a lot tonight in that vein, in terms of the legacy that Rabbi Marantz is leaving behind in that regard. So that has been, for me, quite an eye-opener. And as a friend and as a partner in Tikkun Olam, Rabbi Marantz, we all appreciate the spirit that you brought here when you did. And thank you for that legacy. Came just at the right time. But Rabbi Marantz isn't just a rabbi, and he's not just a rabble-rouser downtown at the rallies. No. He's a friend. He's someone you can go and have a concert with. Ask me how I know. No one rocks out like Craig Marantz. And he's got a sweet tooth, we all know that. And so that is why we have a sweet table here for you tonight, for you to enjoy, including Mountain Dew, or the special edition that we call, what's it? Orange Crush Cake. Thank you, Chef, for bringing this Orange Crush Cake. And Sandy Shake, thank you. All right, well, our next speaker is someone who needs no introduction. But I'm going to say it anyway. Rabbi Michael Zedek, would you please come to the podium?
You don't have to lower it with such joy. So,
It's still Shabbat,
So naturally, a rabbi might turn to some reflections on Shabbat, and that meant I turned to the Talmud in the Tractate Shabbat, where there's a comment that is actually quite self-evident, but has an important resonance. That self-evident comment goes like this: from one candle, many candles can be lit. Obvious, yes? From one candle, many candles can be lit. And I think it applies very specifically in terms of the meaning and purpose of a rabbi's life, that he or she is a source of energy and enthusiasm and commitment, joy and learning and teaching in such ways that from the candle of that person's character, many candles, many persons can be moved, inspired, touched, and reach higher than they ever imagined. For such is the prospect of a rabbi's life. In addition, and obviously as this gathering gives testimony, the remarkable privilege of being in this calling, and that is what it is, as our late and beloved Rabbi Herman Shalman would always insist it be called. It's not a job, it's not a vocation, it's a calling. That calling means that there's an exquisite dividend, namely, that ever and always, and every day, someone can touch your heart. And if you're fortunate, as Rabbi Marantz has done in but 5 years, he touched self-evidently many hearts as well. But the wonderful thing about it all, wherever the travels may take them and the paths that they will continue to illuminate, is that the legacy is even more than we ever know. We touch, we inspire in ways that, well, to put it in a simple word and know my concluding thought, every clergy person has heard some variation of, Rabbi, you remember when you said in that sermon, da-da-da-da-da, it changed my life. Of course, the rabbi doesn't remember ever having said such a thing, and doesn't imagine that he or she would have thought to say such a thing. But Rabbi, you've changed lives, and that continues, most definitely. Here, as you take leave, and wherever fortune takes you from this moment on, God bless with all the blessings that are possible.
Thank you, Rabbi Zedek. I think it's probably self-evident for anybody who's ever belonged to a great congregation like ours that behind every great rabbi are the supporters they have at home. And so, to that effect, I want to make sure we recognize tonight Betsy, Kara, and in Israel, Jared. I hope you're watching. Please stand up and just give everyone a wave. Give everyone a nice round of applause, folks. My next presentation is somewhat intimate, and unfortunately, those of us here in the crowd will not be able to enjoy it right away. But you will be able to later because it is going to be streamed and available for your viewing later. But in front of the Marantz family, we have a special presentation from your cantor, Cantor Friedman, and you'll just hear quiet, and they will Cantor Friedman. Cantor Friedman.
Wait. I didn't go, did it? I'm trying. Okay, stop sharing. So there's no volume when you. It's not working.
Do they need to come up here?
As I said, Kendra Friedman was unable to be with us tonight, but we're all going to see the tape later. We're all going to see it. One of the great things about leaders like Rabbi Marantz is the connections that they have within the community. And tonight, to speak to that connection in the community, we're going to invite up Pastor Fred Kinsey from Unity Lutheran Church to speak. Thanks for coming tonight.
It's off for a minute, and so glad to be with you tonight.
Talk right into the mic.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, as soon as I retire, I'm going to come right to Rabbi Zedek for some tips on how to dress, because this is way too hot. I'm Pastor Fred Kinsey. I serve at Unity Lutheran Church, where I'm called as pastor there. I also am one of the co-conveners with ECRA, the Edgewater Community Religious Association. So,
Okay.
yes, thank you. It's here for ECRA. Stay in the fight. Wherever you are, stay in the fight. You know, Rabbi Marantz has a number of key phrases that I'm sure all of you know much better than I do. A couple of them that I've caught on to are: make it a day of blessing, be a force for good, be well. The newest, I think, is stay in the fight. I don't know if he uses that with you or if it's just with our circle of solidarity with ECRA or not, but I'm pretty sure it originated with ECRA, didn't it? Or maybe you're just flattering. So I give thanks for our relationship that we've developed over the years. And on behalf of ECRA, Rabbi Marantz, thank you for taking part in all of our activities. I especially remember those early days when we got together over coffee at Chicago Grind, when we didn't even know what it was preparing us for, but I think it prepared us for these twin pandemics that we've had in the past year. The pandemic and the virus of COVID-19 and 1619. So when Rabbi Marantz came to me to ask me my thoughts about starting this circle of solidarity and prayer, I said, of course. And then he ran with it. So I simply had to give it my blessing and a little bit of support by being there with all the others. And I know that we don't plan to stop. Learning how to be anti-racist is a process. The fight continues. Stay in the fight. It's this kind of loyalty to justice and truth, to peace and understanding, to come along, I only knew how to pronounce that right, that I will most certainly miss most about your departure, Greg. But I know it will blossom for you wherever you land, and that we will continue to work here in Edgewater as well. So through these and many other experiences, I cherish the relationship I have with you and with your congregation, and that we all have together as worshiping communities in Edgewater. Emanuel's presence and participation in ECRA are so vital and so important to what God is trying to teach us in these days, I think, which is, in a word, that when we are grounded in who we are, each one of us, as Abrahamic religions, we strengthen and we uphold one another, so that our songs of praise will ring proximate tunes in each other's ears, whether of joy or sorrow, whether of pain or blessing. We are siblings that can and must stand by and be truthful and love one another. So I love you and your congregation, Rabbi Marantz. So let's continue to stay in the fight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker has the distinction of being a fellow Board of Directors member with me, and has also been with our COVID safety team, keeping all of us safe as we inch towards reopening here at Emanuel Congregation. He's my friend, Jay Rothenberg. Dr. Rothenberg, come on up.
The first thing to say is thank you. What does one say to a rabbi who is not? What does one say to a rabbi who has not just been our spiritual leader, but also our role model, our teacher? You say thank you. And you say how much of a privilege it is to have been able to work with you for at least the last 3 years on my favorite subject, the Shalom Hartman Institute in North America. For those of you who aren't in the LinkedIn group, we are joining the curriculum of a liberal think tank headquartered in Jerusalem and branches in New York and elsewhere that is favoring and promoting liberal Judaism here, other places in North America, and most importantly in Israel, and offering civil and human rights for everyone who occupies those areas. All those courses would not have been possible without your blessing. You have been ever present, kind, patient, thoughtful. You have spearheaded our discussions and showed great professionalism and humor in doing that. You also nudged us back into the center of our lane when we went astray, and early on that was frequent. You have brought out the best in our little group of very bright people. Thank you for your encouragement and support. We are all better people for your being here. All of us worked at these courses, and our small successes, I think, are not temporary but transformative. Thank you from all of us. Thank you for your encouragement and support.
Thank you, Jay. Now, is Gregory Gross here in the house? Come on forward. Ladies and gentlemen, many of you know how closely we work and how close the rabbis work with Care for Real. Now you get to meet their executive director, Gregory Gross. Come up to the mic.
Thanks so much. It's an honor to be here with you this evening. Better? There we go. It's an honor to be here with you this evening. I am the new executive director at Care for Real. I started last September in the middle of the pandemic at Care for Real, serving our community. And one of the first religious leaders that I met was Rabbi Craig. Last fall, as we were preparing for the Thanksgiving service, it was Rabbi Craig that came and took video of Care for Real to share at the virtual service. And silly me started to show him around. And I quickly realized Rabbi Craig knows Care for Real. Rabbi Craig knows what is happening. And it makes sense. As we think back 50 years this year at the founding of Care for Real by ECRA community, by Emanuel Congregation. And so I'm here this evening to thank Rabbi Craig, to thank the Emanuel Congregation for your care for our community, for all of those who are on the margins, those who are most vulnerable. You may not know, but the numbers are not going down at Care for Real right now as the city is opening. The numbers are actually going up. Last week, we had the most people coming to Care for Real to ask for food than we have since January. And so I thank you for your 50 years of commitment. I thank Rabbi Craig for the reminder of serving those most vulnerable in our community. And I thank you for your continued commitment to Care for Real.
Thank you, Gregory Gross. Okay, so let me see a show of hands. Who here is a kid in our religious school? Raise your hand. A lot of kids. Who here is a parent of a kid in our religious school? Raise your hand. All right. Well, if you haven't met her yet, it's time for you to meet Mandy Herlich, our religious school director.
Hello! They finally let me out of my cage after a year. I'm here. I'm so excited to meet you all. So if we haven't met yet, I am Mandy Herlich. Many of you have met on Zoom, and some of you for the first time in person tonight. So very exciting. And a short story. So Rabbi Eliyahu Lapayan once was talking to a student after prayers, and at the same time was folding his tallis, his prayer shawl. His tallis was large, and he had to rest it on a bench to fold it. After he had finished the folding, his student noticed that the bench was dusty. And so the rabbi headed out to fetch a towel to wipe it off. The student to whom he was speaking realized that when the rabbi was getting up, he was going to wipe the bench. So he ran to get a towel for him. The rabbi held up his hand. No, I must clean it myself, for I must show my gratitude to the bench upon which I folded my tallis. We are taught to be grateful for things like benches, to be mindful of the gifts they provide with us. If an inanimate object can give us invaluable gifts, imagine what a living, breathing human can provide. It is important that we express our thankfulness to what has given us such a gift, but also to the higher powers that have given us all of the gifts and the gift givers. Rabbi Craig, thankfully you are not an object, but instead a warm, wonderful human being. One we all owe a lot of gratitude to. Personally, I am grateful that you worked to bring me to this wonderful community and to help me find a renewed love of congregational life. I know that this entire community is grateful for your kindness, your insight, and your genuine care for the congregation. You have shown time and time again that you are a worker for the greater good, a force for good in your own right, and a shining example of what a good heart really means. I know I speak for all of the senior staff when I say that you are a role model for us, a fantastic teammate, an inspiration, and a colleague we'll forever be grateful to have worked with. We have clearly received many gifts from you over the years, ranging from heartfelt sermons to invaluable leadership. And for that, we are grateful. I'm glad that with modern technology, we are only one click away on Zoom or FaceTime. I sincerely hope that you remain connected and that you find excuses to visit Chicago often. So now we're back.
Rabbi, we had planned for you a message from the Eeshas, who pre-taped something just for you, but for the sake of technological success, we're going to put that up so you can watch it at home later, and we can all watch it at home as well. We know that they would have wanted to be here in great force, but we can wait, right? So
Set the anticipation.
I know, I set that up. I really did.
Can't wait.
So now I have the great pleasure of introducing someone who's going to do a better job than I do at this kind of thing, and that is my predecessor as president, the most recent past president, Leah Jones.
Awesome. Thank you, David Rakofsky. Thank you for having me here tonight. Rabbi Marantz, Betsy, so good to be with you. I am really sorry the videos didn't work out, but you'll get to watch them with proper audio, so that will be nice. It is so good to be back together. Sneaking up behind you are wonderful people with Prosecco and sparkling cider. If you're a non-drinker, we've got bubbly. Because what we want to do is we want to take a moment to make a l'chaim to Rabbi Marantz. So this is me vamping a bit while things come around the room. The room. What you're watching right now is my mind being broken. I am so grateful for the 2 years that I had to serve in a sacred partnership with Rabbi Marantz. I was wholly unprepared to become president of the congregation, and he was incredibly patient as I jumped in with both feet and tried to figure out all the things that happen at this wonderful place we call our spiritual home. And I am grateful to him for his patience in learning, as I learned how to work with him in this role. One of the things that I think is really important to know about Rabbi Marantz is that every project needs a Nachshon, someone to jump into the river and lead everybody with them. And we are so grateful to Rabbi Craig for helping us with the idea that we now call 5959, that we launched our first events in this spring, and we're going to dive into it. It's an idea that started as he looked out of our stained glass windows in the chapel at Lake Michigan, and one that we hope will carry us into the future. So we know that space is of the essence as you pack the house. So the plaque is small, but our hearts are big. So this plaque shows that Rabbi Marantz was our senior rabbi, but also that he's the founding clergy of 5959. And as we when we order the book plates for some of the books he's leaving to join our library, it will say not just when he was our senior rabbi, but also that he was the founding clergy of 5959, because we want people to know that he was our Nachshon as we started this idea. So Rabbi Marantz, may I present this to you? And if we can all raise a glass of whatever you have keeping you hydrated. And I'm just going to keep this safe. I'm going to keep this simple and also safe. I don't know what's happening anymore. My brain, it just went whoop, l'chaim.
So this Thursday marks the beginning of the new month of Tammuz. And as we approach the new month and the new moon, it makes sense for us to think about something that will empower us to make Tammuz really matter. We've heard a lot of things today that really matter to me and to us. And I think one of the things I'm most proud about is that as my family and I take leave to explore a new direction for us as a team, as a unit, as a beloved family, I know that together we built something that will sustain itself, because we are a collective force for good, and all of us are smarter than one of us. And so we've planted seeds throughout these 5 years that are blossoming, not just 5959 in Chicago, which I'm super proud about, but our commitment to transformation, our 140-year-old commitment, 141-year-old commitment to resilience. It takes a village here. And so someone will pick up the mantle, whether it's Cantor Friedman, or it's David Rakofsky, or it's the rest of the trustees, or our staff, or community at large, or people we don't even know yet who jump into this exciting place and give it its renewed life, building on top of what we've accomplished these years. So plenty to think about to make this upcoming month and this upcoming year and all the years ahead so much more powerful. You know, it's been so long since we got together in person. I think it requires a Shechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign over time and space, who gives us life and sustains us, brings us to beautiful moments of recognition, of appreciation, of respect, of bittersweetness, but of resilience and the will to go forward with purpose and meaning. All of us, not just me and my family, but all of us, into what may seem like an uncertain future, but it's a beautiful future. I know it. So in this week's Torah portion, we turn to Korach. And as much as this parashah is a cautionary tale about Korach separating himself as a leader, it's also a celebratory story about Moshe Rabbeinu, our teacher, as a leader who connects with his community in a spirit of collaboration and interdependence. You know, we say all of us are smarter than one of us. Well, Moshe often understood that he needed more than himself to push things forward. And so while that collaboration and cooperation and independence is not always so simple, and there are challenges sometimes to navigate, the one thing that Moshe appreciated and championed was the opportunity to create vision and community with the people around him. And no matter what challenges, he found his way to no regrets. And so I feel a lot like that now. In that spirit, I want to thank you all for the opportunities you've given me to be your spiritual leader for 5 years, to propel our mission forward. By the way, our mission is, at Emanuel Congregation, we open our doors to all who seek richer, more meaningful lives. Together, our diverse community engages in prayer, lifelong learning, and tikkun olam, or repairing the world, empowering adults and children alike to apply Jewish values to our everyday lives and to be a collective force for good. I insisted that be in there, and there wasn't much of a fight. But it's true, we must stay in the fight, whether it's against anti-racism or it's the constant renewal and sustenance of this beloved congregation. So, by the way, Miriam, you reminded me that we talk about practice makes progress and presence, not perfection. So yes, we certainly are looking forward with great anticipation to what Cantor Friedman has to say and what the Eeshas have to say. We're so grateful for them for participating in their way. But gosh, we're here together, and that's beautiful enough. And I'm so pleased. And there's nothing more exciting as a rabbi than having people finish your sentences or repeat back to you the things you hope they hear and live out in their lives. Because as much as we pray as though everything depends on God, we act as though. That's right. Now that I didn't make up. Augustine made that up. And, in the spirit of ecumenicalism, we take wisdom from wherever it comes. And the work has been good. So, listen, I want to make some thank yous that are really important to me. First and foremost, Betsy, Kara, Jared, my extended family. You teach me some really important values: unselfishness, presence, dedication, commitment, and most importantly, it's through our experience, particularly in the pandemic, that I came to understand that as much as I aspire as a human being to touch the world in a meaningful way as a rabbi, I'm not just a rabbi. I'm a husband, the only husband my wife, Betsy, has. I'm a father, the only father that my children, Kara and Jared, have. And I have an opportunity now to try and integrate these covenants, right? It's a calling, Michael. I'm called not only as a rabbi, but as a husband. Ketubah reminds me of that every day. And as I see my children growing and making a difference in the world, being a force for good in their own right, I know that my role has to interface with everything that I do. And I feel like that's why we're having this celebration. Gives me a good send-off to refocus. And so, Betsy, Kara, Jared, thank you for helping me reaffirm that important responsibility. I love you, and thank you. And to this generation of staff members, and really more broadly to the different generations I've been privileged to serve with. I'm thinking of Shelley and Sarah Beth and Mandy and Michael and Nicole and Lorraine and Amy and Antonio and Trinity, and of course all the others that I've had a chance to serve with. This spirit of collaboration, the chance to build solid teamwork, and maybe most importantly, to create a safe space in which we could thrive together and know that collectively we could make a difference, has been one of the true blessings of my life. And much like my family is a blessing, my work family is also a blessing. Thank you so much. And to our president and past presidents, David and Leah and Dan and Jill and all the other trustees and volunteers with whom I've had a chance to serve. We have visioned together, we have planned together, we have transformed our community, we have summoned resilience during difficult times, we have debated together, we have pursued spiritual entrepreneurship together, and we've made a difference. We've positioned our community to thrive, even after I leave. Even after I leave. I think the mark of excellent leadership is that things go well, not only when you are there, but when you're not there. And so between staff and lay leadership and volunteers, we're in good shape. And then to all our partners, there's so many to name, but I'll name a few. ECRA, thank you, Pastor Fred, for being here. And let's continue to stay in the fight. Care for Real, Gregory, thank you. CAR, Chicago Area Reform Rabbis, CBR, Chicago Board of Rabbis, our partnership with Jewish Children Family Services and our Lakeview Synagogues, RAC, Illinois, Jewish Council of Urban Affairs, One Northside. Wow, amazing partners, helped us be a better community. So one last list of thank yous, because I just want to do that. I think I've thanked everybody on this list. Well, in addition, Jay Rothenberg, such an amazing lay partner in visioning and planning and learning together and teaching, and just, you're such a good person. The Eeshas and Men of Emanuel, thank you to you all, Joe McCauley and David Fleischman for your leadership. Greg Sabetta, Rev Greg, will be singing soon, and thank you for all the art that you bring. You and David and I have had a chance to really build musically with Cantor Friedman and our other musical colleagues, of course, Ruth Seidner. Thank you to you as well, our dear musical director. And an integral part of our staff as well. Sort of a staff member volunteer extraordinaire, the largest musical repertoire, a model. By the way, Ruthie, while I'm thinking about it, you and Shelley in particular have served here for a long time. I think Cantor for 27, you for 30. Is that all? 31? Can I get a 32? That longevity is a true value at Emanuel. And I think of you and I think of Cantor at the heart of the spiritual energy of our community. Well deserved. Well deserved. All right. This is the last list, my friends. Shifra, Ezra, Dahlia, Ellen, Bob, Devorah, John, Sandy, Phoebe. Thank you for your creative commitment and connection and your volunteerism and being here to make this a great party and celebration. Sandy, in particular, for introducing me to Orange Crush Cake. I already came with a love for Mountain Dew. I have the taste buds of an 11-year-old. I'm slightly more mature than 11, but you would never know it by virtue of all the sweets that I eat. Anyway, I think that's enough for now. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Be well, stay vigilant, stay in the fight, be a force for good, make it a day of blessing. Have I forgotten anything? Practice makes progress. Presence, not perfection. God bless you. Much love. Much love to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. We will miss you. Thank you for everything you've done to walk with us. It's been such a blessing to walk with you. Much love. That was reasonable. I'm also worried that it's never going to end. Thank you. This is great.
So David, as we move to music, we want to stay hydrated and drink water. We've got water all over the place. Push the water.
Who's thirsty? Because there's plenty of water here. The folks should be drinking. You can see the sun is starting to set, and we're getting closer and closer to our Havdalah service tonight, which I'm very much looking forward to. But I want to introduce you to someone. When we have our wonderful High Holy Days services here, your rabbi and your cantor are the peanut butter and jelly of those events. This man brings the bread. Am I right? He's coming up on his 19th year with us. And without further ado, I want to bring up for some comments and some song, Reverend Greg Sabetta of Congregational UCC Arlington Heights. You have Greg?
Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Closer. Is that good? All right. It has been a blessing and a privilege for me to be part of this congregation for almost 19 years. Yet another spiritual home for me. I have learned so much here, so much from the brilliant rabbis that you've had, Rabbi Shulman, Rabbi Zedek, and Rabbi, where'd he go? Right behind me, Rabbi Marantz. Rabbi Marantz. In recent years, we've shared music, amongst other things. Our joy of life and sweets, and music. It is good to be here. It is good to give thanks. The psalmist even tells us so. And one of the many things that I have learned from Rabbi in the past 5 years is some great new music, and I'm going to invite him to join me in that. This is a guitar mic? No, what is
No,
this?
that's going to the internet.
Oh, hi, internet. Hi. Okay.
the only mic
So,
we've
oh,
got.
on the internet right there too.
I know,
Hi.
that's us.
Oh my. Okay. Oh, yeah. There we go.
There you go.
So,
Simon and Garfunkel.
I was thinking Hall and Oates. So, do you want me?
Sure. Greg, I'm so pleased that you gave thanks to our amazing legacy of senior rabbis. What a blessing it's been to be part of that succession. Of course, Rabbi Zedek I know well, and I was so blessed to get to know Rabbi Shulman at the end of his life. and schlepping his mail. What a great honor, one of the greatest honors ever. Of course, Rabbi Sophie and Rabbi Edelheit, who we've gotten to know pretty well, and Rabbi Levy, who we've studied a lot and learned about. What an amazing array of people. Of course, that's not all. There's only been 9 of us in 141 years. It's not that many. So God bless all those rabbis, and the pleasure it's been to serve this esteemed congregation, 141 years old. What a beautiful legacy, and a creative one at that. So.
Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon. On this the day of days, my lips shall sing your praise, for I know that you'll always be here surrounding me. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon.
My spirit takes release. I close my eyes in peace, and from my soul, heard far above, springs a song of love.
Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon. I wish to understand the wonders of your hand, for the blessings that are mine rise from your design. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon.
Woo-hoo. Greg. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Where's my friend Billy Goodman? There he is. So, Bill, while you're coming up, oh, Reuben. Yes, Reuben's standing here. Reuben, Bill, hang on one sec. Reuben has a presentation. Ready to go. Reuben. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
here, speak here.
It's been 5 years since we met, and you weren't actually even dubbed senior rabbi yet. And then 5 years ago, January, you came up to me and asked if I would help you and Shelley with our very first Pride Shabbat. And next week, I understand we're going to work together on our last Pride Shabbat together. Well, I know how much you love leading services and all. And I found a Siddur that I've enjoyed. What's interesting is the fact that it's got to be the only Reformed Siddur that has the bedtime service in it.
Is that right?
Yes.
Marvelous.
And so I was thinking, who can have a Siddur that doesn't have the prayers before bed? And I thought about that, especially since you taught Mantovus Hashkivenu to us all those. I'd sing it with you tonight, but I think with time pressing.
Can join me on Friday when we do Pride.
All right. Thank you.
God bless you, Ruben. We'll do a Hashkivenu during Pride Shabbat, which is Friday. We wanted to do an important and inclusive service, which is something that we've tried to do over the years. And during my tenure, it's been really a pleasure to work with you, Ruben, and others, Ekra, and our staff in the spirit of inclusion, ecumenical, faith fellowship, interfaith fellowship, audacious hospitality. These are values that we honor here at Emanuel and that we honored in our actions. So not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. And so, Ruben, thank you for being a partner. Excellent. So, Billy, come on up. We're going to read something because it is Rosh Chodesh. I got carried away and I was worried that I was blabbing on and on, Bill. And forgot to do the Rosh Chodesh prayer by my teacher, Rabbi Sheila Peltz-Weinberg. Dear God, God of our mothers and fathers, renew us this month of Tammuz and this year 5781. Direct us toward goodness and blessing, toward the joyful, toward liberation and challenge, as well as toward patience and consolation, toward becoming ever more human beings. Let us become capable of supporting ourselves, our families, and friends. Let us serve our community in dignity. Direct us toward life and peace, toward observing our blindness, toward struggling with our goals, toward forgiving ourselves and each other. You brought us near with an intention. You gave us the awareness of the cycles of the moon. May we use this gift as an opportunity to understand what you intend for us. Thank you for inviting us to share your holiness and this holy moment of the new moon of Tammuz, which will be on Yom Hamishi, beginning Thursday evening. So, may it be a good month, and may it be a good year, and may it be a good life. All right, Bill.
So these are songs that my uncle wrote. This if I had a hammer.
I know.
And my godfather wrote "This Land Is Your Land."
Right.
So when he said, my godfather always used to say, "Work towards peace, work towards human justice, and you're going to face opposition, but don't get revenge. Just go with determination."
So, Bill, amen. Yeah. Can we get an amen? Amen. Hallelujah. Might you sort of fill in the gaps? People are dying to know exactly who your uncle is.
Pete Seeger and Woody Guthrie is my godfather.
Did you hear that, everybody? Right. Not your average, not just an average uncle or average godfather.
They were great. They always spent a lot of time together, all of us.
All right. So, I'm going to pull up some music here, although you know it by heart, so I might just sing. And yeah, I know. I got to look up the music. Of course, it's microscopic. Can't see a thing.
I'll call him out in the whole corner.
You got to sing, man. You have your harmonica?
Yep.
Who else do you know pretty well?
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan. Oh, him. And Arlo Guthrie, who gave you that guitar. All right. You know what? Can't see a thing here. It's going to take forever to find it.
I'll come up.
Let's do If I Had a Hammer.
Okay.
Yeah, you can sing along.
Key C?
Okay.
Which key? Which one do we?
C and then G.
Okay.
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning,
I'd hammer out the love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh, if I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring out the love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh, if I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out the love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh, if I had a hammer and I got a bell and I got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the hammer of freedom, it's a song of love between the brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out the love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh. Out of bed, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's a song about the love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Ooh. Hey, you want to join us for This Land Is Your Land? Sure. All right. So, by the way, Billy's been waiting for this for like a year.
Yeah.
Just recently, excuse me, I stand corrected. I amend my statement. Billy and you and I have been waiting for a year or more to have this kind of opportunity. Bill, how's it going so far? All right, brother. That's right, my friend, my good friend. All right, let's do Godfather Woody's This Land Is Your Land. Here we go, everybody. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. We're no longer, but our water, where peace and justice. Fill our water, where hunger is takes place. I've passed the same place. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. I ran and rambled, I followed my footsteps in the sparkling sands of the diamond deserts, while all around me the voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. Last chorus, everybody! This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. Hey, Billy! Good forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Yeah, you want a solo on your harmonica? We gotta play one more round. One more
chorus, everybody. One more time.
One more. We want to hear that solo. I don't know if you can hear it. All right.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land
solo on your harmonica. All right. Rock out, brother. Woo-hoo!
Everybody, you were great.
Best fans ever. Best fans ever.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Love you too, Rabbi. Thank you.
All right, I think we're good.
All right.
We're good. Thank you.
We're gonna wrap this party up with a couple more fun things to do. And since we don't see any stars in the sky yet, I guess I'll just have to do a few songs for Rabbi Craig that I picked out. Just for you. You're welcome. And everybody's gonna join me because I got a performer, I'm a song leader. So we're gonna sing song. Wherever you go, Rabbi, don't worry. There's always someone Jewish. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. You'll always find someone Jewish. That's not the right key, and I will never be able to sing that. So we're gonna put my people on. Wherever you go, there's always someone Jewish. You're never alone, 'cause God made you a Jew. So when you're not home and you're somewhere kind of newish, the odds are don't look far, 'cause they're Jewish too. Some Jews live in tents, some Jews live in tents, and some live in pagodas, and some Jews pay rent, 'cause the city's not free. Some Jews live on farms in the hills of Minnesota, and some Jews wear no shoes and sleep by the sea. Amsterdam, Disneyland, Tel Aviv, oh, they're miles apart. But when we light the candles on Sabbath Eve, we share in a prayer in each one of our hearts. Some Jews wear hats, and some Jews wear hats, and some wear sombreros, and some wear tortillas to keep out the sun. Some Jews live on rice, and some live on potatoes, falafels, or hamburger buns. Amsterdam, Disneyland, Tel Aviv, oh, they're miles apart. But when we light the candles on Sabbath Eve, we share in a prayer in each one of our hearts. Ba 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 ba. Wherever you go, there's always someone Jewish. You're never alone, 'cause God gave you a Jew. So when you're not home and you're somewhere kind of newish, the odds are don't look far, 'cause they're Jewish too. The odds are don't look far, they're Jews just like you. And one more song that I want you to join in for, but this is way too high. You gotta think of this guy. There we go. So I was looking through my songs that were about friends, because Rabbi, you've been a friend. And I think it's not just that you've taught me so many things, but it's also what you and the whole congregation did for me during the pandemic, which was to come into my home every Friday night and every Saturday morning, because I couldn't get out. And it wasn't just you, but of course it was Cantor. And you led those services every week. And Luke helped you, and Rob Moss helped you, and Leah Jones, the first one to ever try doing that. I mean, honestly, thank you to all of you, because you kind of saved us. All right. So I was thinking about friends, because that's what you are. And I came up with a song that you will sing with me whether you like it or not. And you will like it. You will like it. You will like it. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. What would you do if I sang out a tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I get high with a little help from my friends. Gonna try with a little help from my friends. What do I do when my love is away? Does it worry you to be alone? What do I feel at the end of the day? I get sad because you're all my own. Oh no! I get by with a little help from my friends. I get by with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I need somebody to love. I couldn't be anybody. I want somebody to love. Last time now. Would you believe in a love at first sight? Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time. What do I see when you turn off the light? I can't tell you that, but I know it's right. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. With a little help from my friends. Well done, everyone. And what's that? Emanuel is back. Emanuel is back, baby. And thank you all for being here. So now we're going to have a little table here, and Emanuel Cohen is going to join me up here, and we're going to do a Havdalah together. And Mia has a real wonderful surprise for you when it gets to the point where we're passing around the spices. Oh, it's not just any spice. Should I keep talking?
So we should go ahead and just like pass the mint out to everyone now.
Okay.
And tell people to like tear off a leaf and.
Mia is coming around with mint from our own garden. And if you tear off one leaf, just take one leaf and rub it between your fingers, the oil of the leaf will come off and you'll smell mint. Fresh peppermint. Or spearmint, I guess, it's more like, right?
People should pull a leaf and pass.
Pull a leaf and pass. Thank you. Yes.
Guess who's gonna be our next bar mitzvah?
Mia!
Thank you, Mia and the noise.
Okay, Mia, what do you think? You think it's dark enough? Can anybody see?
It's dark.
It's dark.
We think 3 flames coming out.
Yeah, those look like.
Okay, Cohen's, come over.
Okay, Cohen.
One of you would take the wine.
Sure.
You're never too young.
And somebody has to hold the candle, as you know.
Right.
And then.
All right, Mia wants the candle.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right there. Wait, and don't light it quite yet. Don't light it quite yet. And then.
And everybody's got the spices.
Right, now Mia, she's gonna hold the candle and then, that glass thing? Yeah.
That's in case it gets windy. Michael, you're on wind patrol.
I'm on wind patrol. Hold that upside down.
Those are rapid patrol.
Oh, you're on wind patrol. Okay. Boy, we have a great team here. Now, understand I'm blocking you, so I don't wanna do that, but I have to say that now. Okay. All right, great. All right! We're gonna do Havdalah.
When do you want me to light? You just,
I'll tell you.
you tell
I'll
me.
tell you. Okay. We are grateful for the week that now is ending and for the chance to be together as we contemplate the week to come. We are grateful for tonight's reminder of our quest for peace and joy and being a force for good. And this for the body and refreshment of the soul. May something of its meaning and message remain with us as we enter the new week, inspiring us to work with a new heart for the benefit of all the world. Okay, and you can light. La 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 la. Into the wine.
Do you want to bring it to the microphone for it?
Oh. Good idea. I missed this so much. I love it. Hamadil ben Kodesh, ben Kodesh lecho, Chatotenu lifro, Zarenu v'chaspenu, Yarden nacho, HaKochavim balayla, Shavua tov, 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 a good week, a week of peace. There's gladness, rain, and joy and peace. A good week, a good peace. Rain, gladness, rain. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishmi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Haviladi, B'mehera v'yamenu, Yahavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishmi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Haviladi. Thank you, Liz and Leah and Michael. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to all of you. Rabbi, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for us. 59.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Thank you to David Rakofsky, our current president, for being the MC. I'm good, Ellen. I know. I promise. So, as we wrap up the night, I'm going to stop the live stream. You are welcome to continue to mingle. We have some cookies and we have some treats left. I would love for you to wrap some in a napkin and put them in your purse in honor of Goldie. Goldie! I wanted you to take some cookies home in your purse. And thank you to Phoebe Skaronski, Ellen's daughter, who baked the cookies tonight.
Thank you, Phoebe!
If you go by the name tag table that has been manned and womaned by Bob and Deborah Heyman, we are collecting notes to the rabbi. If you weren't able to bring a card tonight, there's still an opportunity to write a sweet note. And if you are, please make sure your trash gets in the trash cans. And if you are able-bodied and able to take a couple folding chairs into the building, I would appreciate it. So this concludes the formal program, and now we can mingle.
Can we give a big thank you to Leah Jones? Thank you for organizing this. Thank you so much. You have been a light in our congregation.
Yes.
And I'm not kidding.
Amen to that. Leah, thank you for bringing such joy and dignity to this moment. It really brought such a beautiful feeling. And we can smile and we can feel joy in our hearts. Thank you.
Yeah.
Much respect.